Oh yeah, this song is so cool. I got bars and you don't. By bars I meant bar soap.
Yo, what up?
Oh, look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit, Majahapit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit.
Vehicular manslaughter!
Hold on. You set up a piece of wood, and you put on 2 slats of wood.
Hey! Oh!
I wish I don't have eyes right now.
I always wondered where my dad was.
Yeah, father's
Now we
location. Now you have it everywhere.
Dude. Girl. Girly pop.
Dude, what do you do in your spare time? Do you wash your hands?
5. Why was that female bank customer so thick?
And you take a piece of wood and you drop it.
Peas. Oh my god! Oh!
That's a rocket. Good
Thanks.
job, Callie.
That's your grandmother.
Oh, okay, wait. Who did this? These nuts!
I'm losing my mind.
Oh,
Car! That's not a car. This is a Honda Odyssey.
It just drives by.
Oh, Choco spread for Alec.
Here I could tell the story. That crustacean thing reminded me that I used to have hermit crabs. Before I had fish, I had hermit crabs. Back when I was like 13, I had hermit crabs. You know, when you get hermit crabs from the beach, you know, you go to the shore, some colored pebbles, and then like a cage to keep it in. You know, you get them in the cage, whatever, and then they die after a week. Everyone's like, oh, they're a terrible pet. No, they can live for a long, long time. Years even, from my understanding. But like, you gotta take care of them, and you can't just leave them in a cage and just like expect them to live. What you have to do is you need like an actual tank, like you would with fish, but with no water in it. You have to keep it at a certain temperature, at certain times of the day. And every day you have to take them out of the cage and spray them with water. With like fresh water or salt water or something like that. It has to be cold. And they have to have drinking water that they can soak in, just like that. They have to have a sponge in that drinking water that they can like touch and nibble off of to keep them hydrated. Like there's a lot of really specific stuff. You got to keep them in dirt. So then when they molt, they jump out of their shell and they burrow into the ground. Then they grow. And then when they come out, they expect you to have a bigger shell ready for them. And then you have to hope that they fit in that shell. And if they don't, then they die. It's a really like messed up world for a hermit crab, but I had those hermit crabs and I didn't know how to take care of them at first, so I had them in the cages. So I had a hermit crab named Poseidon. No, his name was Flapjack. And he was like a little rainbow shelled hermit crab. And I had another one named Larry, like Larry the lobster, because he was a bigger hermit crab with a different colored shell in there with him. And they were in a cage. And they had a SpongeBob pineapple house as their little home. And they were hanging out there and they were having a good time. So I come out one day and I notice that Larry is like in the corner, not moving. And I look on the cage where they can climb on. And there's a separated, mutilated crab claw. And I'm like, oh, that's concerning. I wonder what that happened. So my theory was he was hanging on for dear life and then he fell. Somehow. So, you know, I thought maybe he was weak and then he fell and just wasn't doing good and he was dead. So I was like, well, shit, there goes my hermit crabs, whatever. So I got a new one and his name was Lil Breezy because he looked like a football. The first day that I got him, I look and he's already dead, and his arms are mutilated. Several of them this time on the ground, not on the walls of the cage, so he couldn't have fallen off. He had several arms broken off, and he was dead. And the common denominator for between both of those crabs was Flapjack. And I had realized at that moment that Flapjack was extremely territorial, and he did not like any of the cage mates that you put in there with him. So every time I put a hermit crab in there, he would rip them apart because he wanted to be alone. So I was like, okay, fine. So I keep him in the cage, I'm taking care of him, whatever. And then I look at him one day, like a couple weeks go by, and he's still alive. And he's like pulling himself out of the shell, but he's not molting. He just like pulled himself out of the shell and then killed himself. I just am realizing how insane of a life that crab was. Yeah, that was a real thing that happened. And now whenever I see hermit crabs, I'm just like, well, that's how it is.
Jenny on the beat, yeah. I like drums. I hit the drums on your face. Sure.
I mean,
Wait, you need air? What you say that now? We're going to space, Jay. There's no time for that.
shut up.